Hey guys, it's me. It's Queen Onset Haru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Alright guys, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and pass it on to someone else who may be wondering about this same thing. So, I was on the phone yesterday with an Aquarius male, and he told me he's in a relationship with a Taurus woman. They've been together for 7 months. And he said that he likes her a lot. He likes their energy. He likes their interaction. And he wanted me to tell him, basically, if they can make it. He said that people keep telling him that Taurus and Aquarius isn't a good combination. And he doesn't know much about astrology. So he's asking me, what did I think about it? He watched my video the other day about compatibility. And he said that he understood what I was saying, but he was just wondering, why are people telling him that he needs to watch out? Basically, people are warning him, like, yeah. So he asked me what was the deal. And I'm like, well, Taurus and Aquarius is not the best combination, simply because of the fact, like I've told you many times before, earth and air don't always do well together in a romantic relationship. And it's not to say that it never works, because like I said in the compatibility video, anything could potentially work, but this is one of the more difficult combinations. Typically, according to the gurus and the experts in astrology, you're supposed to go through the elements in a certain kind of way. So like basically the easiest to the hardest. So the easiest to deal with are going to be your own element. Next is going to be the element that's more like you, and so forth and so on. So for Aquarius, we are air. So air would be our first. Our secondary would be fire. Then comes water. Then comes earth. Earth is actually seen as one of the last ones as far as romantic compatibility is concerned. Why is that? It's because the very natures are that much polar opposites. So you're going to hear a lot of people say Aquarius and Taurus, because they already know, if they've studied astrology, they know that earth signs and Aquarius, earth signs and air signs are not the easiest combination. I'm not even going to say the best combination. I'm just going to say the easiest. And like I said, it depends on so many other things. Because, for example, you could be with this woman and your moon and your rising signs and your other houses and things could line up. And it could be something that's great for you both. So I wouldn't stop seeing her because people keep on warning you about Tauruses. I would wait and let her show improve. I mean, if she's not doing anything wrong and the relationship is going smoothly, I wouldn't step away from it. Now, you did mention one problem, though. You said it was one thing that you were kind of concerned about. You said that sometimes she is stubborn and you get into tiffs about stupid stuff that you'd rather not argue about. And this is one of the things I said in my video about Taurus and Aquarius. That's what I ran into dating a Taurus. I found them to be stubborn for no reason. I don't mind stubborn. I'm stubborn. But I mind stubborn for no reason. I mind you sticking to a principle or a situation or something just to prove a point that means nothing to us both. I mean, that's something with them that I've seen a lot. And like I tell you guys, I'm stubborn. I'm a rebel, but for a reason. If I'm stubborn about something, it's for a reason. I feel it strongly. I believe in it. It's something about it. I don't just do it because I want to go against the grain or be a nonconformist. So he feels like that's what happens in his relationship. And that is what I've found with Tauruses. I have seen that with some Taurus. So my thing is that you have two people. Remember I said we're stubborn too. You have two people who are fixed signs. Aquarius and Taurus are both fixed. So you have two fixed signs in a relationship with one another. You're going to run into stubborn situations. So if I were you, and I really wanted to continue with this relationship, I would talk to my Taurus about it. I would point it out and I would discuss it, because the times when I pointed it out to the Taurus are the times when we were able to make a compromise. When I was just silently angry about it, we broke up. We broke up. When I was just silently angry about it, we broke up, or it just nothing ever happened. But when I sat her down and I was like, look, this is a problem, she actually was able to rise to the occasion every time. It was when I didn't say anything and you were saying that you hadn't talked to her about these issues. You got to say something. In relationships, communication is really important. And when I sat her down and talked about the behavior, that's when things would get better. That's when she would actually try and work on it for a little while. But when I just silently, because Aquarius have a tendency to just silently get angry about something, and we may be seething underneath the surface but not say anything. When I did that, that's when we would break up. That's when we would just stop talking, or I would stop calling her, or she would stop texting, or whatever the case was, and we would break up, because she would know I was upset about something but wouldn't know what it was. And then it was like this power struggle. But when I talked to her, I found when I communicated with her, that's when I got the best. And I think that's true of most relationships, that when you talk to the other person openly and honestly, that's when you're going to get the most out of them. When you're angry and don't say anything, or give them the silent treatment or the cold shoulder, it really doesn't do anything but make the situation worse. So I would definitely recommend that you talk to her about this issue, and that you guys may be able to work through it, especially if there aren't a lot of other major issues present. So don't get scared because people are telling you Taurus and Aquarius don't work. He said they told him that Taurus and Aquarius will fight. They'll end up killing each other, that kind of thing. And those things are true. Taurus and Aquarius could end up fighting. I mean, anybody can end up fighting, if pushed into the right direction. But this particular vibration may or may not work. So I wouldn't just stop seeing the person because people are telling me our sun signs don't match. A lot of times, like I said the other day, your sun signs aren't going to match. A lot of times, I know a lot of people in relationships and their sun signs don't match, and they've been together for a long time. So I would never let that be enough for me to walk away. Now, if we kept fighting because of the stubborn thing, that would be enough to make me eventually walk away, but not until I've tried, not until I've talked about it, not until I've tried to see if maybe we could work it out, especially if I really like that person in all other ways. If that's the only thing that's wrong, I would at least give it a shot. Nowadays, I think that we do very quickly walk away from each other. Sometimes it's necessary. And sometimes it's because we just get frustrated and don't feel like doing the work. So I say, if it's worth it, to give it a shot. It's been 7 months. You say that's the biggest issue that you have, and possibly talking to her about it could change. It could change things. She could try. And it could do nothing. And that's when after you've worked on it, I'd say a month, 2, 3 months, after you've given it some energy and you see it's not working, then I would consider saying, okay, this isn't working. I'm going to move on, because it's the beginning of the relationship. And why drag this on, another couple years if I know we're not going to work on this issue? Remember, in a relationship, lots of things are going to come up. And you don't want to cut and run every time something happens, which is very Aquarius. It's a very Aquarius behavior. But you don't want to cut and run every time something happens. You want to assess each situation, each one on the one. Is it worth it is the question. Is the person worth it? Is the situation worth the effort that you would have to put in to change things? And if it is worth it, if they're worth it, if it's worth it, then I say at least give it a shot. Okay? All right, Mr. Aquarius, good luck. If any of you would like to contact me or get a reading done or send me a message or anything along those lines, all of my information will be underneath this video. And remember, come back soon because I have a lot more to say. See you later.